Hi everybody, this is Agnes from Sediment, and today we are going to blind taste 4 underrated wines as chosen by other wine professionals. I live in my own little wine bubble, and of course that shapes my thoughts and ideas about what I think is an underdog in the wine world. My opinions are also influenced by my own preferences naturally. So it is always better to stay open-minded and really listen to what others think instead of just talking about your own discoveries. Oh my, that is some advice I should definitely follow more myself. Sometimes I can get so excited that I forget to listen to what others have to share. So we asked several wine professionals what they believe are some of the most underrated wines in the wine world right now. These are people who have been very important in my wine life, my career, and certainly people I truly look up to. People who inspire me and whose opinions and judgment I value highly. One thing I haven't told you yet though, it was actually my cameraman who asked them which wines they think are underrated. I don't know what they said and I have not seen the wines, so for once I am going to have to listen. Listen to the clues these people give me and why they think these wines deserve more of the spotlight. And I will listen to wines themselves, share with you my thoughts on them and what I think they might be. Shall we? Let's start with the first wine professional.
My name's Andrew Jefford. I write about wine for Decanter magazine and World of Fine Wine. And the wine I've chosen is a wine I came across fairly recently. It comes from one of Europe's great vineyards. It's from a grape variety that personally I love a lot. It's beautifully packaged and it's a wine we all tried as a family a couple of weeks ago. We loved it. What's not to like?
Okay. So he mentioned that this wine comes from a beautiful vineyard in Europe. It's a beautiful wine, beautiful packaging. All right, so, and it is white wine, so we know it's white wine. So it is not extremely aromatic wine. It is not in your face grape variety. It is more restrained towards a shire style. But I do feel fresh apple, fresh pear, really ripe though. And there were also some hints of chamomile or linden flower, something floral, but not necessarily flowery, expressive or perfumed, more just tea-like character, if I may say. And somewhere over there in the background, I feel this hint of smokiness or gunflinty character, but very, very little. Let's taste the wine. I do enjoy that it has the presence on the mid palate, and for me personally, that is a quality factor, something that I seek out in wines, because I want my mid palate to be full with fruit. It is not particularly expressive on the tongue, but I have the same flavors mirroring the palate. It has quite zesty and lively acidity. It is medium bodied and I do not feel much of the alcohol. I don't think it is really that high here. I definitely think it is coming from cooler area. At some point I was thinking about Loire Valley and maybe Melon, like the Muscadet wines. I don't think the alcohol is too high here, but maybe I would expect a bit more of those yeasty flavors, which I not necessarily have here. But I think the overall quality and kind of being towards Shire style in the character would make sense. And then shortly I was thinking about Austria or Germany. I don't think it is Riesling, because from Riesling I would expect way more aromatics on the nose, way more intensity on the nose, more nerviness on the palate as well. But if I would have to choose which country, I would maybe then go towards Germany, maybe Silvaner, but I'm not really sure. It is really difficult to come to my final conclusion, so please forgive me if I don't. I have given you my guesses, and I will give this wine 89 points. I think it is absolutely charming. I almost feel guilty for giving this wine any points because I know how Andrew Jefford feels about points, and it is not points that defines wine, it is the wine itself. So let's see what he thinks about this wine and why he thinks this wine deserves more attention from our side.
Okay, the wine I chose is from the Franken region of Germany. Germany's continental wine region, if you like, continental climate wine region. And it's the Wurzburger Stein, Silvaner, Trocken, 2023, from Burgerspital. As I said a little bit earlier, it's a wonderful vineyard, super steep vineyard of wonderful limestone, beautifully exposed, really great vineyard land. And Silvaner is a variety I personally love a lot. I love its sappy strength, its solidity in the mouth, not very fragrant, not very aromatic, but the qualities in the mouth as you drink are outstanding. And I don't think we stand up enough for wines like that nowadays. So it's a wine we all hugely enjoyed, and I hope Agnes has enjoyed it too.
Can I reveal the wine? I actually know this producer a while ago. I was working at the wine importer who would import this wine, Burgerspital, Wurzburg, Wurzburger Stein. We even pour it by the glass. And this one says Franken Gold. All right. Oh my God, I completely agree with you, Andrew. But to be honest, I haven't tasted this wine, this grape variety, in years. And thank you for reminding me about it. And yes, indeed, it has 12.5% alcohol, and I will definitely enjoy this bottle. Shall we move to the second wine?
Hi, my name is Raimonds Tomsons, World's Best Sommelier 2023. And this is my hint for the underrated wine I have chosen for Agnes. So this wine is made from a grape variety which is mostly used in different blends, but there are only few places in the world where this specific grape variety is very highly prized, and it gives wonderfully complex wines which age gracefully and still for a fantastic value for money.
I did not understand though, is this a blend or is it monovarietal wine? He said it's mostly used for blends, and then there are a few areas or appellations, if you will, where this grape variety is bottled as a monovarietal wine. Right, so we are in the red wine world. And the nose is actually quite intense. So color-wise, it is not the most, like the deepest colored wine, but it is definitely deep. It is not blackish, but... All right, and then the nose is quite spicy and intense. And so we have these ripe fruits, we have blackberries, blueberries. It is quite interesting, this wine. I think it is really powerful wine. It is expressive wine. It offers all these really intense red, ripe fruit flavors. But at the same time, what really defines it are these spicy, herbal characters, you know. I have sweet spices, I have cinnamon, I have nutmeg, and I am not sure if this is coming from oak. This wine could have been aged in oak, and there might be some of that toasty complexity from it as well. But I think it is the grape variety that really is offering these spices, these herbal hints, these Mediterranean herbs, you know, like rosemary and thyme. And it says on the nose that I'm going to be big, I'm going to be expressive, I'm going to be explosion in your palate. So let's taste it. So there is way more elegance on the palate that I was expecting, because on the nose I felt like it's going to be big and opulent, but it has the linearity, it has the verticality, it has that kind of elegance to it. The tannin is elevated, it is mouth coating, there is slight rusticity to the tannin. It is not like the seamless, elegant tannin that just covers your palate like velvet. It has some edges to it. Acidity is quite nicely integrated and lifts the fruit on the palate. Let's talk about alcohol. And it has some kind of sweetness as well, but it's like a savory sweetness, when you have cooked meat for a very long time. And there's also like almost like a caramelization, but it is waved with some savory elements, some earthy notes on the palate. So it feels like this wine is coming from someplace warm, definitely way warmer than we were before with Andrew Jefford's wine. And there's one thing that tells me about this wine something. I know Raimonds quite well. We work every day together. He's my colleague. And I would want to say that he's almost like dear friend to me and great supporter. And I know regions that he feels really passionate about. And tasting this wine and putting this wine next to his personality and his passion, I want to say that we are in France, and I'm quite sure we are in Bandol with Mourvèdre grape variety because of that earthiness, because of that herbal kick, and because of that elevated, slightly rustic tannin. I would maybe expect a bit higher acidity from Bandol wines, from Mourvèdre grape variety, but I think this is really elegant and nicely done. And if there is elevated alcohol, I definitely do not pick it up. But before I watch what Raimonds has to say about this wine and we reveal the wine, I will give this wine 93 points. I think it's beautiful.
So this is the underrated wine I've chosen.
It's not underrated,
it's
everyone knows this
Bandol
producer.
Rouge from a legendary producer, Domaine de Tempier, probably one of the best and well-known producers in this appellation. So Bandol is a small, tiny appellation in the heart of Provence. And Provence is mostly known for its rosé wines, but this tiny appellation makes fantastic red wines based on the Mourvèdre grape variety. As I mentioned, there are no other places basically where this grape variety is so highly prized. And the resulting red wines are concentrated, dense, spicy, full of garrick and aromatic herbs.
Garrick.
And as I said, they age absolutely gracefully and they won't break the bank.
That's true. But this specific wine is quite hard to get. Amazing, Domaine Tempier. This is top producer. And I would argue that Raimonds is absolutely correct. Mourvèdre as a grape variety is definitely underrated. We do not talk about it enough. I do think that Bandol as a region for sure is underrated. The only issue here, I think, is that Tempier. We know Tempier. We love Tempier. I think this is top producer. So thank you, Raimonds. Thank you for this bottle. Amazing. All right, so let's move to wine professional number 3. I don't have wines numbered, I have wine professionals numbered. And next person is rock and roll of wine.
Hello, my name's Tim Wildman. I'm a British-based master of wine and winemaker. And the great value wine I've chosen, it's made from a single grape variety. The grape variety has 2 words in the name, and one of the words is also an element that's found in the soil where it's grown.
For a moment there, I thought that Tim might share one of his wines, like Astro Bunny or Lost in a Field. So if you have not tasted his wines, please seek them out. There are a few spots where they are available, and definitely follow him, and then you can see where you can find them. But judging by this wine's color, I'm not sure he makes red wines. Maybe I am mistaken, but single grape variety, 2, it's a riddle. Single grape variety, 2 words in a name, and it's also an element. Okay. So I have to know. You kind of have, I would want to say that this is quite expressive and intense on the nose. You do have ripe blackberries, cassis maybe. You kind of have hints of beetroot here. It is really intense aromatically for a red wine, and it does smell of blackcurrant, freshly squeezed and crushed blackcurrant berries. And there's something green to it. There's some herbal or like blackcurrant leaf or blackcurrant bush, you know, that character in it. So it is not all fruit. There's something herbal on the nose with all these really ripe and expressive, punchy fruit flavors. There is some Cabernet quality to it, I want to say. Let's taste it. This is really puzzling me. On the nose, I was convinced that it was related to Cabernet. I thought that maybe it is Cabernet Franc because of that green element, that tomato leaf character, and because of quite expressive fruit flavors. It's like, it is It is so confusing because the nose says to me one thing, but when you taste it, it does not have the tannin structure of Cabernet family grapes. Let's taste it again. Maybe I missed it. It is quite jolly and juicy and fruit-driven red wine on the palate. It is so difficult. I don't know this wine. I don't understand this wine. You know, Tim, he's wild at heart. He's Tim Wildman. And maybe this is some obscure winemaker. And I don't know why I once again want to go to Loire Valley. I think in my mind, personally think that Loire Valley is quite underrated as a winemaking region altogether. It has so much to offer. So maybe I would want to say that this is an interesting, lighter style, fresher, zestier character Cabernet Franc. I don't quite feel the acidity of Cabernet Franc though here when I'm talking about the palate. I don't quite feel the structure similarly here when I'm talking about Cabernet Franc, but I have to guess and say something because the nose is so Cabernet-like. Because of its really jolly and inviting texture, I will give this wine 89 points. And let's reveal it. Let's see what he thinks. Oh, no, I just realized there was a riddle. I just remembered. He said that, so Cabernet Franc, it would make sense because it has two words. But I don't think that Cabernet or Franc is any kind of element, especially in the soils. Yeah, I'm lost. I'm absolutely lost here. I don't know. So let's see what he says. Please enlighten us.
My underrated wine is very personal to me. It is a red wine. It has pretty much been my house wine at home for the last 20 years.
20?
It is from the region of Marcillac in southwest France. It's a cuvée called Le Sang del Pais by Domaine de Cros. This is a very special region. It is in the foothills of the Massif Central. It's like at the top of a triangle with three influences. You have the Atlantic influence in the southwest, cold winters, Mediterranean influence in the summer, sunny summers, but the vineyards were 500 meters, so it's got mountain freshness. The history is fascinating, 1,000 years of vine growing, Pre-phylloxera, the region had 4,000 hectares of vines. Nowadays, just 220. The grape variety, Fair Cervidou. You get it in little bits across southwest France, but it is really unique to Marcillac. The AOC wine has to be 100%. The name Fair Cervidou is 2 words, and both of the words have 2 meanings. So fair is the French for iron. Now, some people say it's called this because the actual wood of the vine is so hard, it's like iron, very difficult to prune. But also, what determines the actual appellation is the valleys have iron oxide, red clay soil. So that's the fair bit. Cervidou, the second half of the grape name, is an Occitan word meaning something that keeps well. So the wine, Lucien del Pais. This is a wine that you can buy for €13, £11. It's unoaked. It's from vines of an average 25 years old. It's hand-picked. The wine has an amazing aroma of black pepper and raspberries. The body is light, often 12.5% alcohol, but you're getting mountain freshness, a bit of tannic grip like the Southwest, but some of that spicier, more sort of south of France leaning, Rhone leaning aromas. It's a fresh wine. You can chill it in the summer, but it's spicy for the winter. And I've had bottles that can age for 10, 15 years. So this is my most underrated wine because it's from a family estate, hand-picked grapes, €13. You can drink it fresh and young, but it'll last for over 10 years. It's fine wine at a mass market price, and that's why I love Lucien del Pais by Domaine de Cros in Marcillac.
Perfect. Oh my God. Thank you, Tim, for this little masterclass, because I have heard about this grape variety. I have never tasted it. And so I could not even add any comment about it. So thank you for giving this really deep, insightful information for all of us, to all of us. Oh my God. Domaine de Cros. Thank you. This is definitely something that I will seek out and study and read more about it. I could have never picked it up on the blind tasting. I'm terribly sorry, you guys. And thank you, Tim, for introducing us to this. It is the first time in my life that I ever tasted this grape. So talk about finding, true gems and underrated wines. So great. Let's move to the very last wine professional who I met 2 years ago, I think, and he turned out to be absolutely amazing, and he makes great videos, and we actually met because we both do YouTube.
Hi, my name is Vince. I'm a certified sommelier and the founder and host of V is for Vino wine show on YouTube. And your hint for my mystery wine is that it is my favorite red grape varietal. Okay. But I don't think that helps you because I don't think we talked about what my favorite grape is. So good luck.
That was quite a hint. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's true. It does not help me a lot. I don't think we have talked about it, but I have watched your videos, and I just think, have I picked it up someplace? I'm not sure, but I have watched Vince, your videos, and I think you do an amazing job. Absolutely stunning. Let's taste your favorite grape variety. Let's see. Somehow we have 3 underrated red wines tonight. All right, so this is quite deeply colored, really intensely colored red wine. All right, so on the nose, we have these really ripe blueberries and blackberries. It is quite intense and tightly packed with fruit, with these berries, which I do enjoy in this wine. I think the fruit character is really shining through. but at the same time, you would also see some of the violets or maybe some of the like hints of floral characters here and there, and then some of the spices as well, like not necessarily herbal kick that we had in wine before or in Mourvèdre, but more sweet spices such as nutmeg and clove. There's also a hint of toastiness here in this wine. Let's taste it. On the palate, this wine was full. It had elevated tannins, but it had sweet tannins, it had soft tannins, it had tannins that caress your palate. And that tells me something. And that something is that it might be Syrah. It might be Syrah grape variety because of that tannin. It also has that really luscious and beautiful mid palate because of the color. And when you really pay attention to this wine, it also shows a bit of that peppery, like peppercorn, you know, like ground black pepper element in it, which is quite typical to the grape variety as well. Now, its origin is something that I might want to discuss a little bit, because on the palate at some point it did show some of that warmth, some of that fruit ripeness, almost sweetness, with which I would like to go maybe to United States or maybe to Australia. But then on the nose, it had that peppery character, which I usually associate with Rhone Valley. The acidity. It is beautiful and it is well integrated and well balanced with all the fruit in the wine. I don't think it is particularly elevated and mouth-watering though. So it is really confusing to me in regards to its origin. I will stick to my inner guts and will say that this is not coming from Rhone, but you know, if it is coming from Rhone, I absolutely understand, because it has that hint of earthiness, it has that peppery character, it has Rhone quality. On the palate, it is just a bit ripe, or maybe it is, you know, a warmer vintage. And I will give this wine 92 points. I think it is charmer and I think it is seducing, and let's see what Vince says about it.
All right, and the reveal, the wine is Santa Barbara Syrah from Ojai Vineyard.
Ojai.
Why is this wine underrated? Well, I think American wines in general are underrated on the international stage, and when people think of them, they probably think of Northern California, big rich Cabernet Sauvignons, and those exist, but we make amazing cool climate wines in places like Oregon and New York, and here, Santa Barbara County, which is in Southern California. In particular, they're known for their Pinot Noir and their Chardonnay, but I actually think that they are tremendous at this cool climate style of Syrah. It's this beautiful marriage of Old World and New World. You get the kind of blueberry vanilla pie thing, but you get this great, savory, peppery, pot roasty kind of style, along with that leather and all those gamey notes that we love with Syrah too. I think it is, pound for pound, an amazing value. It stands up to Northern Rhone Syrahs at a fraction of the price. So that's why I think it's underrated. What if you got it?
Let's open it. Ojai Vineyard. Thank you, Vince, for sharing this. And I might actually agree with you on this. I think that Syrah grape variety is absolutely amazing. We do not talk about it enough. And it is really well known amongst wine professionals. But oftentimes, you know, for a wider public, Syrah is just, you know, simple wine, but it can be so magnificent, so intense. It can pack so much complexity, and it can be age-worthy. And I think you are right, when it comes to American wines, we might not know what is actually happening. We might not be aware of all these small micro wineries and what they're doing, you know, with all their heart. In the international market, we only see those bigger, larger players who have means to penetrate, you know, through the market and place their wines in the shelves. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for introducing us with this wine. I did not know about it, and I actually quite liked it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I have lived through it. I mean, blind tasting can be quite difficult, and when you do it on camera and everyone watches you and everyone judges you, you kind of put yourself out there. But I don't think I did that terrible today. And I also want to express my gratitude to all 4 wine professionals that were sharing their thoughts and their knowledge today. Andrew, Jefford, your constant inspiration. I mean, when I talk to you, I keep learning and learning new things. Raimonds Tomsons, you are my sparring partner when it comes to studying wine, when it comes to tasting wine, and when it comes to understanding wine and sharing knowledge with each other. So thank you for that. Tim Wildman, I cannot express my gratitude to you. There have been so many moments when you have reached your hand and helped me to struggle back on my feet when it comes to my studies. And I feel you constantly support me, so thank you for that. And Vince, I really hope that one day we will manage to find time and place where we are both together and do that interview for the No Sediment Wine podcast, because the last time I met you, it was absolutely amazing experience. It was amazing night. And Vince, enjoy your new chapter in life with your family. Thank you. Now let me know in the comment section below your underrated wines and what are your thoughts on the wines that we had today. And make sure to watch this video next.